Straight men of Reddit, what's the strangest thing you've been told not to do because that's gay? Not me, but a friend of mine got dumped because his GF thought he was a closet gay. He liked having his apartment clean, so he cleans it every evening, and somehow doing house chores is gay. His new GF is thrilled though. Edit. Inbox is nuked. My brother-in-law and I went to a movie. He told me it was gay to sit next to him. I told him to stop being a bitch and I sat right next to him for the entire movie. I was at a pretty packed movie, but there were 2 empty seats next to me. These 2 dudes came up to me and said, "Would you mind sitting between us? We're not gay, so we can't sit next to each other." I was pretty floored. I did move for them, they bought all my snacks, but I thought it was really weird. Edit. I'm a woman. BTW. Sorry I didn't mention that. And thanks to everyone who said I could be hot, lol. Linen shopping by my best friend. That's nice bro, but I need towels. Deal with it. Ah yes. The classic, men are not allowed any form self-care or home maintenance. They should suffer in filth and starvation until a woman comes along. I grew up in California before moving to the East Coast as a teenager. I've been told all Californians are gay, or at least be, more than once. Edit. So it's been implied that I should not do being Californian. As a native Californian, I find this both hilarious and ridiculous. Brunch. If steak, eggs and alcohol at noon are gay, well then duck it. When I was right out of college, I was heading out for drinks with my roommate. He's from upstate NY. We were going to a kinda nice bar, so I threw on my wool jacket. It was cold out, so I grabbed a scarf. He was surprised I'd wear a scarf. He's a super PC guy, so he never explicitly called it gay, and if I had been gay, he would have been fine with me wearing a scarf. The funny thing is, he was wearing a ski jacket out, and got shit from our other roommate for not dressing up more. Then, we started giving the third roommate shit for always wearing the same shirt every time he dresses up. So, in the end, 3 20-something guys left late to go out because of an argument about our outfits. Being late is pretty ducking gay. Can confirm. Was late. I'm gay. I knew a guy who wouldn't have a serious conversation that might cause any kind of emotion because that's gay. It couldn't even be something nice like talking about puppies. He also wouldn't hug his children or his niece because that kind of affection is what women and gay guys use. He also wouldn't smile in pictures unless his woman or children were in them. He wouldn't tell his son that he loved him or spend quality time with him because he was scared that it would turn his son gay. So, basically, anything that caused happiness or a decent quality of life was gay. His dad apparently would beat him for that pansy shit when he was a kid, so I can understand why he does what he does, but it's still majorly ducked up. Eating kitten. Seriously, homie told me it was submissive to eat kitten and kinda gay. He was Jamaican and I hear that's a widespread belief down there. Also, I heard a rapper once say eating bananas without cutting them up was sus. Enjoy female singers fronted bands. I came from a very stupid place with a very stupid culture. I think female voices are nice. Gay. I was once at a gay bar, and a dude hit on me, and according to my then girlfriend, since I wasn't disgusted by it, what? Are you gay? I honestly think the whole gay stigma has largely gone away. Helmets on troops. It's story time. Back in the early 90s when I was a wee private, a fellow soldier had a critical gator failure and hit on me. I will never forget his look of absolute terror when he realized he had outed himself to a straight guy, and he was right to be terrified, because all I had to do was tell the barracks bully, there is always one, and that lad would have had the living shit kicked out of him, pretty much daily. In fact, I got really mad at him, not because he had hit on me, who doesn't like being thought of as attractive, but because I was now responsible for keeping his secret, and I didn't want to hold his life in my hands like that. Fast forward 20 odd years, I have a bunch of young soldiers working for me, and one of them is openly gay. It's early Friday afternoon, there's not much going on, and the lads are talking about weekend plans. One of my boys is ranting at length about how impossible it is to get laid around here when every weekend the local city is flooded with 1,000 young single dudes, and so on. And my gay soldier chuckles and says two male sex drives oriented at each other means I don't have that problem. And the ranter lets out a whinny moan. Man, I wish I was gay. And I damn near spit out my coffee, not because there was anything wrong with a heartfelt expressed desire to be gay, but because of the contrast of the change of attitude in my lifetime. I'm not saying homophobia and prejudice is dead, but I think that being worried about being perceived as gay is nowhere near the big deal that it once was. I had a buddy that wouldn't eat foods that resembled the shape of a penis. Hot dogs, bananas, cucumbers, none of it even if it wasn't in its original shape. He was kind of a goofy dude, so there's a solid chance it was a joke and he just didn't like those foods and they happened to have that in common. But I never knew for sure. You know how many foods are shaped like dongs? The best kinds. Tried to order a mojito at a bar back when they were all the rage since I had only heard of them and never tried one. Waiter looked at me and said, "No, you're not gay so I won't get that for you." But I just wanted to try a popular cocktail. There was a thread on here a while back where some poor girl told the world about an ex who wouldn't wipe himself or wash his genitals cause touching a dong is gay. I read a thread about a guy who wouldn't wipe his ass too well for the same reason. I thought it had to be fake, but other people chimed in to say they knew someone like this as well. I wore my watch on my right hand. Apparently when I was in high school that gay as duck. Once was told that baking and cooking were gay or too feminine. Duck that shit. My dad was a professional chef, and I'd be damned proud to follow in his footsteps in the culinary world. Also, who doesn't love the guy who can whip up birthday cakes, brownies and snacks? That stuff is always the funniest, cause on the one hand sexists say that women belong in the kitchen. On the other hand sexist chefs say that women shouldn't be in a kitchen and that they can't cook. Like, what? I went on a date with a guy who wouldn't drink cocktails because they were gay, so he'd only drink beer to be more masculine. What a manly man. My buddy going for his doctorate in math was working on differential equations between sets at the gym when another gym rat walked up. Gym rat, are you counting your reps or something? Buddy, no, this is my math homework. Gym rat, what, are you gay? I saw a Twitter screenshot a little while ago from a woman who thought glasses looked kinda gay. Caption on the screenshot was, "Fellas, is it gay to see? Cross my legs. Rest your ankle on your knee equals not gay. Rest your thigh on your other thigh equals gay, or so they say." My sister had psychology lessons at her university. She told me that her teacher explained that every man that went to see a prostitute was secretly gay because they were seeking out a previous man penis inside the prostitute's vagina. She's adamant that the teacher really said that, but of course it's a second-hand story. I remember hearing the same thing about the US soldiers in Vietnam, that the prostitutes were basically just a go-between and what the men really wanted was to hook up with each other. So Renaissance type costumes as a hobby. I've been told I should stop doing it because sewing is either gay or women's work. On the plus side, I am a 6'2" bear of a man, so when I tell them to duck off, they usually leave it be. I was reading a book and a couple dudes called me gay, not for reading a book, but because I was using a bookmark. Only gay men don't crease the duck out of their pages. Floss my teeth. Apparently, gingivitis is something only hetero people have. Hug my dad. Dude, I'm not gay, I'm not gonna hug your dad, stop asking me to. Use a straw, because apparently it's like having a tiny penis in your mouth. I still use straws and haven't had the urge to suck a dong yet. Make sure you only get your left ear pierced. This might be a non-thing now, but when I got my first piercing in the 80s it was a big deal to make sure you got the correct side of your head pierced. Right meant gay, left meant straight, and you didn't want to be the kid that ducked that up. This whole thing was made all the more comical by the fact I got my ear pierced with my best friend so we could split the cost. I mean, there had to be nothing gayer than two preteen boys arguing about what earring to buy and threatening to just not get it done. And this wasn't an uncommon thing either. The girl at the jewelry store said it happened a few times every weekend. I feel like I've given rise to some cult with of the left is right, right is wrong replies. Maybe there needs to be some new Reddit team badges. Apparently in this country, wearing an earring in your right ear, which I do, means you're gay. Is that right? It's weird anyways. See, in Australia it's when you've got your coke in another man's ass. I remember as a kid my dad would tell me not to sit with my legs crossed in a chair. I replied don't care. Still don't. When I was 13 I had two best friends, Cliff and Sergio, who got me hooked on comics. We were nerds together. We were inseparable. Sergio invited me and Cliff over to his place for a sleepover. I think it was basically hang out, eat pizza, play video games until we all pass out. But I never found out what one did at a sleepover because my mom refused to let me go. It's okay for a girl to spend the night at a girl's house, but it's not okay for a boy to spend the night at a boy's house, was her explanation. Now, first, I had literally no idea what she was talking about. She might as well have been speaking Farsi. This was just another in a long string of completely arbitrary rules, none of which made any sense, that seemed to make up the adult world in which I was never fully equipped to navigate. But there was also the subtext. I mean, there was a lot of subtext obviously, but this was the one I detected, that whatever girls got up to at a sleepover was natural and right, but boys doing the same thing was unnatural and improper. I didn't get the sense from mom that she thought boys got up to different things. She seemed to assume they got up to the same things and that was wrong, whatever that was. It was only years later I was able to decode this and understand she was saying boys spending the night was gay, and therefore bad. Then some years after that I realized she was saying it was also gay for girls to do it, but girls doing gay stuff, whatever that may be, was natural. The upshot of this was, I never spent the night at a friend's house, Fast forward about 10 years and my new friends and I all go to a gaming convention in LA. For the first time. We're poor college students, so the 7 of us all pitch in to get a room and we have a blast. The con is a big hit, but each night as we're all straggling in at different times, trying to sleep on the floor, stepping on each other, knocking things over in the dark, and generally making obscene noises from one or more orifices. We all end up giggling hysterically in the dark for hours. I later described this to my girlfriend and she says, my god, it's like a bunch of teenage girls at a slumber party. And I exclaimed delightedly, it is. Finn. Best comment of the day. I'm particularly glad that among millennials and Gen Z kids, guys being able to cook is becoming expected. I have several friends who've said they wouldn't move in with, much less marry a man who couldn't or wouldn't cook. Fashion/appearance/decorating still seem to be perceived as feminine, but at least being useful around the house and being able to feed yourself aren't anymore.